Alright, Mike O'Vannon, and welcome to another Era Quinn Calidrum video. I am Atar, and we're down at the workbench looking at projects that are upcoming. And this time I'm playing with Radagast on Sleigh. This is a model I've been wanting to do for some time, I just haven't gotten to it yet, so I'm excited about this. I've been trying to think about how to convert this Sleigh model so I can put the old Radagast model on here. I like the old Radagast much better than the new one. I need to repaint this guy, but I like this wizard model so much better than the new one. So that's the plan. I'm going to put him on the Sleigh, and that means that I have an extra Radagast. And when I looked at this Radagast model, the first thing I thought of was wakeboarding. I love how that looks like he's on the water. So I'm having some fun. And here's my Radagast wakeboarding model. This is very much a work in progress. I went to Michael's Craft Store in Canada. This is a big deal retail chain. And I bought a tube of fishies. And there's different whales and dolphins and things in there, so I picked up the tube. It came with 4 dolphins. My son liked this one, so I kept this one. And these 3 dolphins cut up into a bunch of pieces, and I turned them into 7. And there's the 7th. You can just see the fin right there. And then I've got these other dolphin pieces kind of all around. And in real life, this is kind of how they swim. They swim as a pod really close together. You kind of wonder how they can all fit and not bump into each other. And it's fun to watch. So Radagast is going to be wakeboarding with dolphins. The bar that he's holding has 2 ends, obviously, so I'm going to attach to those ends some fishing line, and one end, the left end for him, is going to loop around this dolphin, back fin down. So I've pre-drilled his mouth and put a rod through the mouth there. I'm not going to keep the whole rod in there, but I'm using the rod to place myself so I can put a loop of the fishing line from one end to the other, around his fin, so that the one dolphin's pulling the one side of that rod that Radagast is holding, and the other dolphin down in the water, I'll have the fishing line coming down into the water as if it's looping around him. So those will be his 2 steeds, if you will. On the Sleigh model, this is a tough model to work with. I am not a fan of fine cast. It's just getting more and more frustrating the more I use it. But these bunnies are supposed to be jumping off of the base, so they will do that. I partly primed them here. They're not quite ready because this one is just bent way too high. The bunny on the back there is, almost a 1/4 inch higher than it should be, so I'm going to have to mold that. I've already molded the Sleigh to get it back together. You heat up water, you put these things in hot water and bend the pieces and then glue them together. I've done that. And it still looks kind of rickety and foresty and Radagast-y, so I'm happy with how the character and flavor of that hasn't changed, but it was a pain to build. And the kit comes with these 2 scenic pieces that go on the base. And this one's got a little butterfly on it, a little bird, excuse me. And this one's got a spider on the back, so they're very Mirkwood themed, which is great. And I'm going to put this old Radagast model in here so that his cape and his beard are blowing in the wind the right direction as he's sort of running through the forest. And the bunnies are going crazy, jumping around the way they do. So hopefully that'll look really good when it's done. That's the plan, at least. And then I've got 2 pieces of twig here from the yard. I've used these on other things in the past, and it's worked out reasonably well. And we're just getting ready to prime all this stuff anyway. The big thing about using natural wood is that you got to seal it. So I'm going to put this twig that way. I'm going to put the other one on the other side of the base. So they both kind of cover and provide some shade into this base and give it a bit of a Mirkwood feel. When it's all done, it'll look sort of kind of like my Bjorn here, but from both sides. I am not super happy with the foliage on that tree on Bjorn, so I'm going to think about that. I may change my strategy there, but that's the plan. We'll put some trees over Radagast and make it sort of Mirkwood style, which should be fun. You can see I've got some gravel down through here. That's going to be a river. And these larger chunks of gravel are actually scrap asphalt. When we re-roofed our roof, we had asphalt shingles on this roof, on this house, and we kept a bunch of them, and we scrape all the asphalt bits off, and they make really good rubble for the ground. And then this is all drywall mud, and the drywall mud that's on here, I've smeared it. It's just any hardware store will carry this stuff. And we picked up some drywall mud, smeared it on here by hand, and just kind of made some wavy streaks in it. The way dolphins jump in and out of the water, they're not going to make a lot of ripples. The only ripples you'd see would be from the wakeboard. So this is wavy, not ripply. And when it's done, it'll look more like this. I'm really happy with how this base turned out. This is for another model that we're not going to talk about today. But the trick with this drywall mud is in getting sort of a natural wavy feel to it. So I did that with my finger. And you got to watch out. When it gets too thick, it starts to crack. You can see a couple of cracks around the bases of the dolphins. I'm going to have to fill those cracks in by hand. I'm probably going to use a little bit of green stuff in there just to fill the holes up. And then when it's done, you prime it all black. I'll repaint the dolphins. A little bit of dry brushing will get the white caps into the water. And then after some layering and some dry brushing, you pour in resin. There's water effect from Scenorama. It looks really good when it's all said and done. So that's where I'm headed. That's what I will end up doing. The bark that Radagast is riding on, it's just a piece of bark from my yard. Really thin. So again, I painted that one up with PVA glue to seal it. And then turned it backwards and stuck it into the drywall and made these little ribs. So you can just kind of see what's supposed to be waves behind him. Wakeboarding, after all, he should have a wake. And then turned the bark around and stuck it in. Because if I stuck it in this way, then of course any of you that have gone riding on the water before, you know he'd go face planting right into the water, and that would be the end of Radagast. So I turned that around and glued it on properly. And the drywall mud is perfect as an adhesive too. All these things are stuck into the drywall mud. They did not need extra glue, except for this guy because he's propped up and he was falling over. So I glued him in. But that's it. There we are at the beginning of my Radagast on Sleigh conversion projects. I'm trying to have this one ready for the end of May. When May 26th in Ontario, Canada, we have the Middle-earth's Deadliest Heroes event. I'm really excited about that. If you're anywhere close, you should come. And we'd love to have you there. And I'm trying to get ready for the best conversion prize. That'll be my submission, and I'm hoping to do well with that. So I'm having fun with these. I'll do another video once these are done. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will look forward to sending you an update once this project gets a little farther along. Thanks for your support. Michael Vannon. Have a great day.